Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Luncheonette with Laura Diaz. That's me. I think you didn't know that that was me because I keep saying this at the beginning of every show. But anyways, have to do something funny and entertaining. Well, we have some great interviews today. The first one that you're going to see is actually with Alan Abramowitz, and Alan runs the Guardian Ad Litem program in Tallahassee. So I think you're going to find a great interview there. And then the second one is Mark Jones. He is the CEO of CPC, which is the Community Partnership for Children in the Daytona Beach area, and he has an awesome young lady named Paxton that he's doing the interview with, so I think you're going to find that great as well. So I want you guys to stay tuned because at the end, after the interviews, we're going to do a special honor of a foster parent, and I want you to see who that is. It's going to be great. And also, I have for you right now my top 5. Now you know that we're heading back to school, all that excitement, back to school shopping, and kids getting excited, picking classes, getting ready, orientation. So with that, I thought let's do a top 5 quotes about going to school. So here we go. Number 5 is, remember in elementary school, you were told in case of a fire you had to line up quietly in a single file line from smallest to tallest? What is the logic in that? What, do tall people burn slower? Okay, number 4. True terror is to wake up one morning and discover that your high school class is running the country. Okay, number 3. In grade school, I was smart, but I didn't have any friends. In high school, I quit being smart and started having friends. That's David Spade, by the way. Number 2, in the school I went to, they asked a kid to prove the law of gravity, and the kids threw the teacher out of the window. That's Rodney Dangerfield. And last but not least, number 1, if there were no schools to take the children away from home part of the time, the insane asylums would be filled with moms. And that was from Edgar W. Howe. So I hope you enjoyed those top 5 back to school quotes, and I hope your kids have a great time getting back to school. Okay, so here's the interviews. Don't forget to take out your lunches. Now's the time to eat those wonderful lunches you've prepared for Luncheonette. And here we go. Hi, Alan. Thank you so much for being with us today. I'm so happy that you could make it.
Well, you're welcome. I always love to come to the Foster Parent Association yearly conference. I've been here a number of years. The foster parents are an awesome group. They do so much for our children, and I'm glad I'm here to be able to talk about it.
Well, great. Well, you're famous amongst foster parents. I need to tell you that. And so we're excited to have an opportunity to spend a few minutes and kind of get some updates from you. So let's start with the Guardian Ad Litem office. What's kind of new and exciting and going on there as it relates to foster parents?
Well, it's really not me. It's really our volunteers. Believe it or not, we have more than 8,000 volunteers in the state, and they become very close to the foster parents. And the reason why is these foster parents are amazing. They care so much about the children that our Guardian Ad Litems, or the volunteer child advocates, become very close to them and try to support them whenever they can. Mm-hmm. Whenever a child is removed from the home, they appoint the Guardian Ad Litem program, and we in turn assign a volunteer child advocate, which people call the Guardian Ad Litem. Now, the great thing about this conference and the great thing about what's happening in Florida is Secretary Wilkins has made a commitment to change what we're doing so children can have normal lives. Even though they've been abused and neglected and come into care, that they, for no fault of their own, should not have to be compromised in what they do, in the activities they do at school, the extracurricular activities, what other children do in the community.
I couldn't agree more with you, because our very first Luncheonette episode that we did was on normalcy, and myself being a foster parent, I can tell you one of the hardest things is, you know, trying to tell that child, no, I'm sorry, you can't go out with your friend from school's parents because I don't have them background checked, and so on and so forth. So it really, I think it makes a big difference, and I agree completely with you on really the whole Quality Parenting Initiative was really based on quality parenting, and with that came that expectation that, you know, they're going to do what a regular biological parent would do and make sure that they're going to take safety measures and letting them go out and do things and, you know, check who the other children's parents are. So I couldn't agree with you more, and I'm excited to be a part of this initiative as well. And I can't wait to see, you know, the things that roll out in the normalcy area from this initiative. So it's so exciting that, you know, you're on board in the office, and Secretary Wilkins and all these initiatives.
We actually, at the Guardian Ad Litem program, got the legislature to pass a law that allows the Guardian Ad Litems to actually transport children. And we think that will also be a big help to the foster parents for those that choose to do it, because now volunteers will also be able to drive the children, and our volunteers become very close to the children and the foster parents, and they can also be part of ensuring that they have normal activities that all other kids did. I remember just a couple years ago where a child placing agency refused to allow a child to play high school football because he could get hurt. And that is one thing that we cannot let happen. We cannot let the fact that they happen, unfortunately, to be abused and neglected, cause them to be punished more by not letting them do normal activities. And we do that by letting foster parent act as reasonable parents would. And that's where the state is going, and my hats are off to Secretary Wilkins and his wife Tanya. I don't know if people realize this, but they've taken foster children into their home, and they understand this as good as anyone because they've taken children in foster care on family trips. They've had them in their homes with their family, and I think it's influencing because they realize real time how it impacts children. And I see this culture change where foster parents are going to get the respect they deserve. Because if you think about it, foster parents take children in at the most difficult time of their life. They've been removed from their parent who they've been with forever, and most children want to go back to their parents even if they've been abused or neglected. So they take them during this period, and we ask these foster parents to care for these children, to love these children, knowing that they're going to get their heart broken because the goal is to get the child back to the parent and to help the parent get the child back by helping provide services, by helping out the department in community-based care to ensure everything's being met, or in some cases, if the parents can't get their child back, sometimes that happens, another family may adopt a child. So we put these very caring people in a role because they love children, and they've accepted it knowing that they're going to get their heart broken. These are very special people, these foster parents.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That is one of the toughest things I can tell you. That's probably the number one question that comes up to me as a foster parent. How do you do this? And you know what I always tell them? When it's all about the child, it makes it so much easier, because I always am trying to look at everything with their best interests in mind, not my own. But it's tough because you fall in love with them, and you do care, and you want to know that, you know, their road ahead is going to be really good, and you just sometimes don't know for sure, but, you know, we just do what we can while we have them, I think sometimes.
The Guardian Ad Litem program has actually changed the standard because of the respect we have for foster parents, where we actually changed it and are staying in our statewide standards that foster parents can be Guardian Ad Litems. They couldn't be volunteer child advocates as long as it's not one in their home. And the reason why is because they care so much about children. How could we exclude them? They are the most passionate people that we see out there for children. I mean, they're committing their lives to children that are going through a difficult time. And these people are heroes. They're heroes to the children. They're heroes to the families that get their children back. They're heroes to adoptive parents that get these children. And they're heroes to the department in the Guardian Ad Litem program.
How many children right now in the system have a Guardian Ad Litem?
We have about nearly 70% of the children have a Guardian Ad Litem. There's about 30,000 children with an open court case right now. Most of the kids in licensed care, we try to get on those cases in particular, but 70% of the cases, we actually have a goal to expand it to 75% by the end of the year. So we're really out there actively recruiting. And you know, we know that if you have a volunteer child advocate, you're going to have a better outcome for that child. But we actually have that better outcome, not just working with the child that we work with, but listening to the foster parents who knows what that child needs, and we can often be the advocate for them, listening to them, and we talk to the department and the community-based care agency, and we fight like anything. We move heaven and earth to get a good outcome for these children.
And I think you bring up a good point, which is along the lines of the partnership plan, and that is we are all a team working together. And I love when I have a guardian on my case, it's just another person to, get involved with, and to know that that they're advocating for the child as much as we are. So I'm thrilled when we have one, and I certainly hope that all of us foster parents, will help recruit more valuable guardians. And I love this initiative, and foster parents can be guardians, so that's fantastic. That's great news. What would you say to foster parents in that vein? Like, if they have a case and they don't have a guardian assigned, what would you suggest they do?
Well, I would say, first of all, the guardians do a great job advocating. I would say go to court, because they are noticed to court. I think that's important. I think the judges need to hear them. I think that they could ask, if they have a tricky situation, to call the guardian ad litem office and ask if we could assign a volunteer and maybe prioritize that case. Because if we're off a case, we don't know if there's challenges going on. So we can get back on a case if we need to. But basically, be focused on the child. We all need to be focused on the children. And if we do that, you'll see great things happen for these children. They will be doctors, lawyers. They will do great things in society. And although the foster parents have had their heart broken because they have to give the child back often, they can take pride in the fact that they made a difference in the life of a child.
Right. While they had that opportunity to impact the child in a positive way. I think that is, to me, the ultimate fulfillment in life, is just having those opportunities. So, well, thank you. I appreciate your time and all your hard work that you're doing, and we're very excited, and we can't wait to hear all the upcoming things that are coming with Normalcy, the Guardian Office. So
thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Alan. Appreciate it. Wasn't that a great interview with Alan? Now let's take a look at Mark Jones and Paxton. Hi, I wanted to thank you, Mark, for joining us. This is Mark Jones. He's the CEO of Community Partnership for Children, and this is Paxton, and they're here to share some information on some things that are going on over here in their CBC and in the world of foster care. So welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having both.
Thank you, Paxton.
I think one of the things that in our society today has real challenges is prescription drug abuse. Over the past 2 years, we've seen a tremendous increase in children coming into our foster care system. And we're finding that the challenge of prescription drug abuse now accounts for about 80% of our kids coming into foster care in our local area here. And that's increased our population by just 200 kids in the last 2 years. Because of that, it's been very, very difficult to be able to keep up with the new problem, new epidemic. We're always kind of one step behind a new epidemic. So we're doing a lot of things in the community to see how we can take better care of the children coming from these families. And one way of doing that is through Quality Parenting Initiative and recruiting foster parents that really are able to provide additional care, special care for children that have these needs. Children coming in from prescription drug abuse homes often suffer from chronic neglect and inadequate supervision. And a lot of what we see is extreme anxiety on the part of these children and wanting to be attached to an adult. And it takes the special people, to work with these populations, as well as other foster children as well. One of the other things also is providing normal activities for children and youth in foster care. And sometimes that can be a challenge with the schedule of the foster parents, things they have to do, and challenges youth might be going through. So I'm glad Paxton came with us this morning. So she's going to spend some time talking about her experiences in foster care, what some things she does, and some activities she is involved in. Paxton.
Yes, well, like you said, it is very important for me personally, and I feel like for other foster kids, to have the parents there that you can actually relate to and you actually can really connect to. Some of the activities that I have done while I was with my foster parents, Kim and Bill, I've done piano. It's really fascinating for me. I love playing piano. I actually did a recital. I got a trophy for it. It was really nice. And when I was younger, I did soccer, some cheer, and I love music. I went to a solo and ensemble, and I got a superior. I'm a soprano. And
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Yes, and I mean, it's just, It's all about, for me, the support that people give us, because sometimes I went through a very depressing stage, and my foster mom, Kim, she actually really realized that. And now that I look at that, I'm so glad that she did, because I had no idea what to do. I didn't know how to talk about it, and my therapist came, helped me talk about it, and I probably would have never came out with it if she hadn't realized it and said something. It's things like that that let me know that people care, and it's not just her, it's my caseworker, it's everybody, people I don't even know that have came together for me and that have actually helped me. So I'm very grateful for that, and it's things like that. It's what it's all about for me, people coming together, and they help inspire us. That's what they do.
What do you think was most important for you when you came into foster care? Remember the first day you came in? What was most important for you that first day?
When I first came in, they had took me from school because of something really bad happened, and that was very traumatic for me. Everybody thought, the principal, I remember him coming into the chorus room, we were rehearsing for recital that was coming up, and the principal came in, and he told me, you have some DCF people here for you. And I said, what's going on? I have no idea what's going on. And they brought me out to the parking lot, and they told me that I wouldn't be able to return home because I had safety issues at my house. And I was just devastated. Where was I going? What was I doing? And my first set of foster parents, I have had two. And my first set of foster parents, they were new also, and they were very welcoming into the home. They were very, told me their name, they shook my hand. It was just, you could just feel the care and love. Of course I was nervous. Who wouldn't be nervous, going into somebody's house that you don't know, but it's the things that they did. And what they did was, they showed me the room that I was going to be staying in for the night. They opened their house up to me. They offered food or drink, or would you like to watch a movie? They lived on a lake. I went and fed the ducks. It was really, really nice. It's stuff like that. It's all about the care and support and opening up to the kids, letting them know that you are here for them. Even if you are a complete stranger, you will always be there for them. I know that when I leave Kim and Bill's house, I'm always going to be able to call them if I need anything. They've always let me know that, and I will always take them up on that too.
Okay, fantastic. Well, Paxton, I have a question for you. Yes. Okay, if there is anything that you wanted to share, now we're going to have foster parents from all across the state of Florida, maybe even a few from some other states watching us. And if you had a message as a youth in the foster care system that you wanted to share with them, what would that message be? That one most important thing that, when they're getting new children like you into their home, what would you like to share with them?
I would definitely like to share that, we will always remember them. We will never forget you. You are the people who have helped us along the way. I know for Kim and Bill, they have helped me with the building blocks, responsibility, and stuff that I never had growing up. And you are our inspiration. You are part of the key to our success in life. You can help us in every way. And, just really thank you. Thank you. I hope you have that connection with your kids, because that is very important. Don't let them slide on stuff, actually just be there, because we're always going to remember that. There was a saying that my dad used to have on his computer, and it was, they might forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And, whether you make them feel amazing, at home, or whether you make them feel loved, safe. Exactly, safe. That's what we need. That's our comfort. You are the parents that we never had, or maybe we did have at one point and something just went very wrong.
And one more question.
Yeah.
As a teenager, if there were foster parents out there and they've kind of been in their comfort zone with younger children, what would you tell them about taking in possibly or considering taking in a teenager or preteen?
I actually get asked that question a lot. But for me, what it was and what really broke the ice was maybe you're funny and you might want to crack a joke, just something to break the ice. I was sitting at the kitchen table, and Kim came in and she was like, well, you look like you could be one of my own. And we look very much alike. And that just kind of, made me laugh, broke a smile on my face, and you just get to know the kid. Maybe they like music, or maybe they like drawing, or, sit down, or maybe they like to go to the movies. You could go and catch a movie with them, maybe one-on-one time. That would be really nice, just something that
So
ease
find
them
some
into
connections.
It. Exactly, because like I said before, they're coming into your house, and you might have never met them before. They might not have any clue who you are. And some stuff like that, I think, would really make them feel comfortable. I know it certainly did for me.
Fantastic. That's great information. I think they're going to be thrilled to hear your comments and suggestions and appreciate it. It's always wonderful to hear from a youth in the system. So, okay. Mark, any closing comments? Anything else that you'd like to say to the foster parents across the state?
We're really excited about their involvement. Foster parents, they're the champions of this. We can't do it without the foster parents. They're the most important part of the system. The children that we serve, they're in the foster home 24 hours, 7 days a week. And they're our most important partners and our most valued partners.
Okay, now I have a special surprise for Paxton, and you get the famous, I'm sure you've heard of these, Luncheonette with Laura Diaz t-shirts.
Thank you so much.
And that's going to remind you of when it's broadcast every week, Fridays from 12:30 to 1 p.m.
I'm
So,
be watching.
okay, all right, and thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed that interview. It's obvious that Mark Jones and the CPC over there in Daytona Beach is doing some awesome work. And also, Paxton just really tugged at our heartstrings. So now I'd like to go into a few announcements. First of all, Fostering Florida's Future. It is an exciting committee. I know we've talked about it a little bit in the past, but it's the committee we're working on with Ms. Wilkins and a lot of other representatives from around the state in the statewide recruitment committee. And I hope you've had a chance to look at the website, but if you haven't, we've made a lot of improvements. And one of the coolest things on there is the highlighted stories of different foster parents around the state. So I want you to go take a look at that. It's www.fosteringflorida.com. And please, foster parents out there, you are our #1 source for recruiting new foster parents. So if you can spread the word, let other people around the state know about this website, I think it's a great tool for us to help recruit, and it's going to just show a lot of the awesome work and a lot of wonderful stories that are coming out of fostering. So take a look at that. Second, we have another committee that started recently, and it is related to foster parent abuse allegations. I know I've heard from a lot of you guys around the state. We've had a lot of issues related to foster parent allegations, and we also actually had talked about that in the interview with Secretary Wilkins and some of the work that's being done around that. So we have a bunch of meetings coming up, and I'm going to keep you guys informed of some of the things that come out of that, and hopefully we'll have an interview related to that as well in the very near future. So stay tuned. I know that's something that's very important to you, and we want you to know it's important to us here at QPI as well. So now, I promised you this little foster parent highlight, and I want to share that with you. There is a very, very special foster mom. Her name is Miss Dorothy Blunt, and Dorothy lives down in the Miami Gardens area. She was recently awarded the Caring Hearts Award at the Florida State Foster Adoptive Parent Association Conference in Daytona Beach in June, and she also was selected as the Mother of the Year in Miami Gardens. So I just want to give you a little highlight and enjoy some of these pictures of Miss Blunt. But she has been a licensed foster parent for, hang on to your seats, 44 years, even though in these pictures she doesn't even look like she could be 44. But she's been doing this for 44 years. Miss Blunt has 4 girls of her own, and she's also adopted 4 children since becoming licensed. Her CBC calls her a savior, and that is because she does not say no when they need a home for special teenage girls. She says if foster parents would just listen to these young girls, that they would see that all they're looking for is somebody to listen to them and love and affection. She's done some great work with these girls. She's an advocate for their education. She attends the parent-teacher conferences. She's very involved in their extracurricular activities, and she also has taught them really good work ethics through some work that she's done with them. So just wanted to give a shout out to Miss Dorothy Blunt and everybody down there in the Miami-Dade area, and thank you so much for the work that you're doing. And hey guys, we are looking for you to send us information about special foster parents that you'd like to see us highlight on our show. So you can put them on our Facebook page, or you can send us the email, and the email's right here on the screen. We want, if you have pictures, we definitely would like some pictures with that, and any information that you give about them, because we really, really want to highlight the heroes, and we have true heroes every day in foster care, and we would like to let you know who they are and recognize you guys that are doing such an awesome job. So that is it for today. Again, I just want to say thank you to Alan Abramowitz and Mark Jones and Paxton for those wonderful interviews. We hope that you all enjoyed them. Don't forget, we are looking for your suggestions for both luncheonette topics or possible presenters that you'd like to see on here. And also for our QPI trainings, don't hesitate to go onto the website and request training. We are working on several trainings now that you have sent in some requests. We're trying to nail down some dates with some presenters, so stay tuned. Keep an eye on our website at www.qpiflorida.com, and we will keep you informed as to when those are coming up. So thanks, and I hope you guys all have a safe back to school. Take care.